Alh Musa kwakwaso actually made some speech. In actually saying it as a war. Alh Kwakwaso was also reiterating indirectly reiterating what Ibrahim Babangida has said, in his write-up, that Northerners, the Easterners are not the Northerners' problem. They are not their enemy. So, meaning they should all unite in one. That there should be peace amongst the East and the North. So, my own concern now is, why is it that it's during this election period? Because back when the incident, when the noise, the agitation was going on, he never said anything concerning it. Is it about politics? That's what I'm saying. Is it about politics, or it's just one of those things during election, just to win election? That was the reason why he was saying all that. I don't know. It's better known by him. And Alhaji Buba Galadima also came to national TV to analyze his own part. Whether he was saying all this because of the election and because of the political party he's representing at the moment. Because over the years they have been there, they never said anything concerning. He never spoke up. Neither do Kwakwaso as well spoke up concerning the Biafra incident. But now, if really their submission now, if their submission is genuine, good, that means the North and the East will work together in peace, and they will realize that they are not enemy of each other. The Northerners should also come to their own realization that the Easterners are not their own problem nor their enemy. Buba as well gave some historical aspects, the good relationship between the North and the Eastern and back during the army era. He gave little historical background about all that. And I believe if nothing go by, as in if he's actually saying what is expected, if actually saying what is good, what is expected of we the Nigerians, the Northerners and the Easterners, I think is good. This issue of bigotry, tribalism of the thing will come to an end. And I believe it is the politicians, they are the one fueling all this. But to me, I believe this 2027, in fact this time around, the Northerners have started waking up. They started waking up from their slumber, because I believe they were sleeping. But now I think they are waking up gradually, saying that the Igbos are not their problem. Even Nigeria are not their problem. But their major problem are the politicians. They are people, the Northern elders, the Northern leaders, the Northern elites. They are their problem. Especially the politicians, because they do not want unity. They don't want, unity of the country. Because I believe that if for this country to move forward, it has to start from the North. If Northerners get it right, this country will be at peace. Because the reason why Nigeria is backward is as a result of the Northerners. Because the Northern leaders do not want the Northerners, to challenge them That's the reason why you see that education, education doesn't thrive. They don't want their people to go to school. They don't want them to have knowledge, to have knowledge of governance, knowledge of what is happening. You know, they decide to put them down. You know, press them down perpetually, and which is very wrong. It's very bad. I would like you to watch the analysis from
Alliances forged after the Civil War between the Northern People's Congress and Nnamdi Azikiwe's NCNC, the emergence of Alex Ekweme as vice president under Shehu Shagari, and even the decision to allow Emeka Ojukwu return from exile and rejoin national politics. Kwankwaso argues that the Southeast has never been an enemy of the North and should never be treated as one. His remarks come at a time when ethnic divisions increasingly shape political discourse, even as his own ticket, pairing Peter Obi from the southeast with Kwankwaso from the north, seeks to present itself as a new national coalition. So is this genuine statesmanship, political pragmatism, or both? Now, Senator Kwankwaso says the southeast is not the north's enemy, and that Nigerians must forgive one another and move on from the divisions of the Civil War. It's a powerful message. But why is he making that argument now? Is this statesmanship or is it electioneering?
That statement was meant to address contemporary issue on the table in Nigeria, more so in northern Nigeria. Because those of us from this part of the country that had supported the Obi Kwankwaso ticket are being called several different names by ignorant people who have no history of the Nigerian state. If they had what Kwankwaso said, it's not new, because during the First Republic and before the First Republic, before independence, the northern leaders, led by Ahmadu Bello, the Sardauna of Sokoto, Kashim Ibrahim, the former governor of Northern Region, Makaman Bidda, and a host of others had worked together with the NCNC under Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, Dr. Endele. Have you heard that name before? M.M. Murphy, and a host of several, Chief Dafa Birie, Chief Melford Okilo, and a host of others to fight for independence. And when 1960 came, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe and Ahmadu Bello teamed up together to rescue power from the colonial masters. And Dr. Azikiwe became the president of Nigeria and the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, while Balewa, representing the NPC, became the prime minister and head of government. And at that time, the unity and plurality of government was not in question. There was everybody in that government. Unfortunately, that unity in diversity was truncated in 1996.
You mean 1966?
66.
Yeah.
1966. A lot of people gave it different coloration. I am sure in my mind that nobody would want to destroy his house. Neither Zik, Okpara, Mbadwe, Akiloe, or Akinjide, who are prominent members of that government, wouldn't have advocated for the coming of the military. So, if anything had happened, I would rather blame the military than blame civilian members of that government.
And certainly not the generality of
the-
people who have nothing to do with the coup.
With the coup, definitely, definitely. So, of course, in 1998, and I was a prominent young man in that system because I was the youth leader of the NPN. And we sat.
You mean in 1970?
78.
Yeah.
So we sat with these elders. We sit and listen and look at them so that we learn the ropes.
Indeed.
And then the government of Shehu Shagari also came together with people of Southeast and formed the MPN. Collins Obi, Mbadwe, J.O. Kezie, Dr. Ukweme, and a host of several people. When elections were held, the NPN never had a majority in parliament. So they had to fall back on the old alliance between Zik and Amadou Bello. And Shagari now invited the NPP and formed a central government, of which Dr. Joseph West became the Senate president, while Barrister Ume Izueke became the Speaker of the House of Rep. So it's not new.
And of course, Alex Ekweme became the vice president.
Right. So it's not new. And in 1998, when the PDP, the dominant party, went to Jos to fish for a candidate, there were two prominent sons of this country, General Olusegun Obasanjo and Dr. Alex Ekweme. I want to say, without fear of being contradicted, that all the political leaders of northern Nigeria in the PDP supported the candidature of Dr. Alex Ekweme, led by Adamu Chiroma and others. While the generals who had funds at that time in their hands, more than the politicians that were overthrown long time ago, rooted for General Obasanjo, and Obasanjo prevailed. So the alliance between the Southeast and the North has predated many people that are now active in politics. But because we aligned with Obi, and we have a reason. In politics, you do mathematics, and you calculate. It is our belief that that is the only ticket that can salvage Nigeria. Not only salvation, it is a ticket we call the healing ticket, such that we can forget the past. After all, a lot of people call us names because we brought, I don't want to mention tribe or religion in my politics, but we are being called a lot of names you may never know. We've been having this fight in this part of the country.
But doesn't that tell you that you're going to have a problem then in the North?
No, let me land. We have a lot of problems. We are having a lot of problems, but the problems are not insurmountable. We will overcome those problems.
How are you going to overcome them if they're so deeply entrenched, as you say they are?
It's okay. Let me give you one typical example. There is a war right now going on in Southeast Asia between America and Iran. But at the same time,
You mean in the Middle East?
in the Middle East,
Right.
but at the same time, they are on the negotiation table. So it doesn't matter, and you should know that the Americans killed the Ayatollah, the new leader's father. But they are still on the negotiate. They are negotiating to make peace. I have a friend, Dr. D.N. Okechukwu, who wrote a book about the 1966 coup. And he went to see a prominent northern leader. And the man said he doesn't want to see him, that the Igbos killed our leaders. He said, you have to listen to me. I didn't. Did Obi?
I certainly didn't.
I didn't.
Yeah.
How old was Obi in 1966? How would he carry the cross of those who did it? It doesn't matter. Even if he did it, you've just shown me Ojukwu, Odumegu Ojukwu. His action caused the death of his own people and other people. But he was forgiven and pardoned and came back to Nigeria and participated in the electoral processes of forming a government. So, if, for example, let's assume that what these people are saying is true, have they also, if the Igbos killed our leaders, have they also looked at the other side? How many Igbos also got killed?
Indeed. And that's a very valid point that you make. Because there are people who say that there may have been the coup in 1960, January, but there was a counter coup in 1960, in July.
Where the head of state lost his life.
Yeah, not just the head of state,
and
but
several other people.
Yeah, several other people.
So
and then, of course, there was
we
the
don't
pogrom
want
and
to-
then the war.
If we are in one country and we refuse to synergize, do we continue with this friction? Most of the actors in this politics today never knew Ahmadu Bello, never knew Tafawa Balewa, never knew Ironsi, and most of the military officers that died, they didn't know them. Can we bring them back? If I ask you, if we continue in this, can we bring them back? So we decided as people, at least me and Konkoso, that we will, even if it's an attempt, we should attempt to heal the wounds of the past. This is why we call this a healing ticket for the nation.
That is a very, very profound statement that you made and that you're making.
We will make every sacrifice possible to bring about this healing, among the Southeast and the North.
I don't mean to reduce the weight and the size of what you're saying, but I mean, is this a truly national project? Because you sound like it is, or is it merely political mathematics?
I can bring Dr. Okechukwu. You know Dr. Simon Okeke? He's the greatest Igbo man around this part of the country. The former chairman of the Police Service Commission. You ought to know him. He's one of the greatest Igbo leaders. I had been on this project with him for over 2.5 years. And it has yielded some results. Do you want to know the results?
Yeah, go ahead.
1, for the last 1 year, can you point out to me one Igbo man who has gone out to voice for Igbo presidency? We are making Peter Obi Nigerian president, not Igbo president. Can anybody in Nigeria point out to me Now, when elections like this always come, there are issues coming from Southeast. People are being attacked. Maybe Southeasterners are being attacked here. Can you remember the last time there was a skirmish between Northerners and Southeasterners in the South or in Northern region? Is that not a credit? Some people had done it. If you do not communicate, you cannot understand each other.
Indeed.
And this is what we had set out to heal. And we had looked at several issues. What are the problems of Nigeria? And we specifically also zeroed on what are the problems of Northern region. And part of which is security, part of which is agriculture, part of which is education. And Obi had agreed if he becomes the president of Nigeria, he will not only as a person address these three issues, but he will make us part of those who will work on these issues. If the government fails, it would not be Obi, but it is us who are part of trying to see what can be done about this security in northern Nigeria. We have been called several names. We are bringing an Igbo man. And unfortunately, it's not only the government of APC, even some opposition political parties, instead of us fighting our common opponent, that is the APC and its government, we are fighting ourselves. And we asked, where did we pick Obi from? Where did we get Obi from? We got Obi from Atiku. He was his vice presidential candidate. Atiku ran with Ben Obi, Senator Ben Obi, as vice presidential candidate. He ran with Peter Obi as vice presidential candidate. He ran with Okowa as vice presidential candidate. Now we are hearing he's going to run with Amechi as vice presidential candidate. So, can anybody supporting Atiku be right in denigrating us that we are promoting Igbo people?
Is that Atiku's people who are doing that?
Look at the social media and those who are promoting this issue. And I asked, if you don't want an Igbo man to be president, would you also ask for his votes to make you one? Would you?
That's a good point you make.
So, now, Charles, I know your dad very well. He chaired the Constituent Assembly. I was a member.
1989.
No, 87.
87 to 89.
80, yes. And I was a member. Very active member. Very prominent member, though young. If he comes out of his grave now, he will beg God to take him back with what is happening in Nigeria. During their time, judges even don't attend social events. They don't. If they are given, it was really suppression of powers. If they are given house, it's government house. Nobody can visit your father after office hours.
True.
Nobody.
Very true.
I know that one. It's a fact. So, a lot of things have been said. If you don't want us to support an Igbo man, don't also ask an Igbo man to vote for you. So, it is now incumbent on you from the Southeast. This is your best opportunity You know that Ezekwe not only worked with Ahmadu Bello, could you remember that there was also a NCNC NEPU alliance of Malam Aminu Kano? Can you also remember that Dr. Ezekwe worked with Abubakar Rimi in 1983? So if kwakwaso said that, it is just a water flowing through its normal channel.
Dr. kwakwaso says no one can win Nigeria by playing only ethnic or religious politics. Yet, election after election, politicians continue to mobilize voters precisely along ethnic and religious lines. Is he acknowledging that Nigeria's political class, including his own generation, created this problem?
Of course, we did create this problem. We were part of it. Those who have nothing to offer always fall back on simple issues of religion and tribe. You think I'm not qualified to be president?
I think you'd make a jolly good president.
Thank you.
Please drop your comment on the comment section. And if this is your first time on this channel, please subscribe, like, press the notification button for more information. Thank you.